Hi, we're going to be presenting to you our topic, which is using portable technology devices in the classroom and some of the positive and negative effects of that. And we decided to research this topic after watching the video special Declining by Degrees. And we decided to discuss cell phones and iPods in the classroom and how it can be used as a positive instead of a negative. And some of the research we've done is we've interviewed students here on campus, talked to the Apple Store, and Dana did some online and library research on some of the positive and negative effects. And the first thing I want to talk about is my results from interviewing the Apple Store. And what we found was 80% of students on this campus carry an iTouch or an iPod, and almost 100% of the students have cell phones. Now, some of the ways we've found that you can use these in the classroom, the professors can use them in the classrooms. There's a lot of positive ways that this can be done, and just like the video Declining by Degrees, we've found that there's a lot of applications that you can use to take roll, to have answer follow-up questions, answers posted online with them. We even have instances of professors using the texting of cell phones. But I'm not going to get into that too much. I'm going to let Lamar get up here and speak to that. So let's go for it, Lamar.
All right. I heard a few statistics, how teachers were integrating cell phones and the use of iPods into class, for whatever role or anything. I just want to see how exactly this was being used, because a lot of times you hear statistics and you don't know if they're true. So I interviewed a few students, about 3 or 4, I believe. One student was on the track team. He said that whenever he goes out of town or travels with the team, he doesn't even use a computer. He has an iPhone. He'll check his email, text teachers, whatever, letting them know that he won't be in class for that day or for however long he'll be gone. I also interviewed another student, and he said that his teacher did, in fact, let them text him while he was in class, instead of raising your hand saying, "Hey, teacher, I have a question, blah blah blah." They just text. It was interesting what he texted, but I'm not going to get into that. And another student also would use the iPod Touch more as of a distraction, because when he would get bored in class, he would turn it on and play video games or watch movies. And I found that very useful, because I really did not think that students and or teachers were using these things to integrate into the learning experience. But I was surprised about what I found out, and that's probably about it.
And I'm going to talk about some of the positive and negative things that I found just in different articles about using iPhones and iPod Touches. Different professors had different views on how they're being used and if they approved of them or not. Some of the positive things I found is that it is safer in times of tragedy, that students would have a phone available to be able to text out or call out. It's definitely learning to go. They provide internet access, Wi-Fi, Edge, and 3G support. And kind of helps to solve the digital divide. There's, like, if colleges are distributing them to their incoming freshmen, then all of the freshmen, lower, middle, and higher class would all have the same opportunities to have internet access and also to interact in the classrooms. AT&T has smart limits for wireless, so professors who are annoyed with the cell phones in class can actually disable them during specific hours while still allowing emergency use, and keep students engaged, inspired, and motivated to learn in the classroom, kind of keeps them active. It's real-time communication. You can use it for small group and team communication to communicate outside the classroom. There's kind of a two-way teaching dialogue, and students can produce all sorts of custom content, so it encourages students to provide fresh perspectives on traditional content and really to think outside the box. They're also sending text messages for canceled classes, delayed buses, campus crisis, or even like food menus, activities on campus, or speakers that are happening. And there's a push for professors to remain interactive and to keep students entertained. The devices can also be used to record lectures for audio recordings. And then there's the iTunes U, of course, so each school has their own sort of software that goes along with it. And so some of the negative aspects, they mentioned drug and gang activity, and I think that was mostly for high schools, but the disruption in class of just having the extra things you can always do. People are using text messages for cheating, even texting inside their own pockets. They can use cameras to take pictures of the exams, and then maybe like in a high school setting, use cameras to take pictures of people changing clothes or something like that. Cell phones, potentially, this one's a little out there, but can be used to set off an explosive device and become overloaded in times of crisis. And they're expensive. Even if students get them for free, they still have to pay for the service if they want internet connection and that sort of thing. So I think that's a pretty good coverage of the positives and negatives.
Okay, in conclusion, we found that portable devices are going to probably be around here to stay, and just like higher education has embraced the internet and computers, I think that in the future we're going to see more demand. Things like Apple iTouch and cell phones being used in the classroom, and it's just something that educational systems are going to have to embrace and use to their advantage instead of being a distraction or disadvantage. We've even seen schools already starting to use it as a recruiting tool, and so I think what we're looking at and discussed is we're going to see more schools using this to get students in and using it as a way to learn, and we're excited to see what the future has for these devices.